morning, Bears, and welcome back to another episode of Kickin' It Live. Mr. Theado joins us in the studio this morning to talk about school safety. The community gathered on Monday to hear Mr. Imhoff and the UA police and fire chiefs talk about school safety. Mr. Theado, what are some takeaways from that meeting?
I thought it was really great to see how many community members, students, came out on Monday evening to hear from our chief of fire, our chief of police, and our superintendent. I thought it was really well attended. It lasted 3 hours and 40 minutes. Every question that was asked was answered. But some takeaways were we're doing a safety audit of all of our buildings to look at processes and procedures, both physically at the building, but also what we're doing when visitors are coming into the building, what doors, looking at buzzer systems. And so the safety audit is a really, really important process for us to determine how we are doing with our buildings.
Mr. Theado, many students are curious about what changes are being made in the school. Are there any new safety rules that will be enforced this school year?
Yeah, definitely. So you have all seen some of the changes, especially at our senior doors. It's entrance number 5, but we call it our senior doors. We have been checking IDs there this year, but recently we've added an extra police officer at that location to help enforce, number 1, checking IDs, but also helping with the flow of traffic during lunches and making sure that those who are in the building are supposed to be in the building. So that's one thing. But we're also checking IDs at the front entrance for both students and visitors. So that's an immediate change that has taken place right now.
What are your thoughts on the potential glass classrooms in the new school?
Yeah, this is a really important topic of conversation. What I will say is when we talk about glass, we're not talking about glass classrooms. So we're not talking about having all glass walls in classrooms. There will be more glass. And glass is important for a number of different reasons. It's important for natural light. It's also important when we teach, for us, we teach run, hide, fight. It's important to see what's going on in the building. So visual is really important. But it's going to be a mixture of glass and non-glass. So I just want to make sure I clarify that there will be more glass, but we're not going to be all glass.
How will you plan to address the potential closed campus policy to current and future students?
Yeah, this came up in our town hall meeting on Monday, and it's going to be it's one of those conversations that is uncomfortable to have, but it's really important to have. So ultimately, the Board of Education would make that decision, and if that decision is made to close campus, we would really talk about what are our procedures moving forward. How's that going to look in our building? Working with both parents and students, but we really got to look at it because we have to make sure that we're following the policy, but also maintaining, the kind of some of the freedoms that we have. So make sure we're honoring those things that we've done in the past. But it will be a change, and we'll have to work together to figure that out.
How will students be involved in developing a new safety plan?
So over the past week and a half, I've been meeting with students. We're about halfway through our day, so we've been meeting with students in several of the different periods. I think we've gone through 4 of our 8 periods, and we'll continue next week. And students have been encouraged to come and talk to me about what they see, what kind of changes they would like to see. We actually have one student who's really interested in providing first aid and training our students in first aid. And so I brought with me, I don't know if you can see this, but it's a Stop the Bleed kit. And last year, our whole staff was trained in applying tourniquets. And so we have a number of these bags throughout the building, and our staff has been trained on applying a tourniquet in case of emergency. But this student is really taking the lead on how to bring this to our students. Additionally, we have other students who have stepped up and who've wanted to take a role in planning our next drill. So how can we be more active in our drills rather than just having a dialogue and a discussion in our classroom?
What's being done about the students who no longer have a student ID?
We are printing IDs for students who do not have them. So students just need to see Mr. Vasquez or go to the Learning Center to make sure that they get a physical card for their ID. But we're accommodating that.
Thank you so much for joining us in the studio today. And now to Kate and Josh with sports.
Welcome back to another segment of sports.
Both the boys and girls swimming bears had their state meets this week.
Kendra Sheehan placed 8th in the 100 free, the girls team placed 7th, and the girls medley placed 5th.
Alec Caswell finished 9th in the 500 free and 11th in the 200 free. Dakota Elliott finished 2nd in the 500 free and won the state championship for the 200 individual medley.
Congrats to all the swimming bears on a great season.
The boys basketball team flew past the 47th seed Franklin Heights this past Friday, winning 70-19, and no, that is not a typo. Dane Goodwin scored 26 in the game, outscoring Franklin Heights by 7.
Goodwin was named Division I Central District Co-Player of the Year on Wednesday.
Macy Spielman joins Dane Goodwin on First Team All-District. Max Marks was named Third Team All-District, and Will Grabback and Kylie Casey were named Honorable Mention.
The girls basketball team beat Northland on Wednesday night, 69-54. They will play this Saturday at Ohio Dominican at 7 with the district championship on the line. Good luck, ladies.
And now comes another episode of UA Top 3.
UA Sports. It's in the game.
Sophomore Miles Erickson knocks down a buzzer-beating free throw in the boys' 70-19 win over Franklin Heights.
Senior Kylie Casey finishes the strong possession with a drive to the hoop for an and one. They beat Northland 69-54 on Wednesday.
Dakota Elliott, the two-time defending state champ in the 200 IM Division I.
Senior Dakota Elliott defends her state championship in the 200 IM. She took the lead off her strong breaststroke and broke 2 minutes.
Dakota Elliott trying to defend her 200-yard IM, and she's going to do it. Heck of a job by Dakota Elliott from Upper Arlington. 158-78. She wins it.
Another one bit Dakota Elliott's dust in that 200 IM.
This weekend, some members from the indoor track team will be competing at the OAT-CCC Indoor State Meet.
The athletes competing are Madeline Nichols, Eileen Dunn, Lindsay Rush, and Sophia Savlati in the 4x800 meter relay, Heidi Hireman in the 3200 meter run, Emma Zid in the 400 meter dash, Gergen Sahomanyan in the pole vault, and Kyla Borgards in the shot put. Good luck this Saturday, Bears.
Shout out to the girls lacrosse team being number 1 in the preseason Miss Midwest rankings. They'll look to win a 4th consecutive state championship this season.
Boys basketball plays tonight in their last home game of the season. Tip-off is at 7 against Whetstone, and the theme is black and gold.
Now let's see what Lifestyle has in store for us on this fine Friday morning.
This summer, Ohio driver's license are getting a new makeover. The new change will bring an end to same-day license pickup.
Driver's licenses will now be sent to BMV visitors about 10 days after a driver's test, beginning July 2nd.
On Monday, Reynoldsburg lifted a ban on owning pit bulls that has been in place since 1996.
This follows a recent change in policy in New Albany in January in which pit bulls were no longer characterized as vicious.
Strides for South Sudan Club is meeting on Monday after school in the Learning Lab on the second floor of the LC where the Gold Lab used to be.
Bola Wang will talk about his experience as a lost boy and sharing an update on the clinic in Sudan that UA students have helped support over the years through various fundraising efforts. All are welcome to come hear him speak and join the club.
Next week, we will celebrate our community's diversity in the UAHS Culture Fair on Tuesday, March 6th.
As Culture and Diversity Week approaches, Mr. House explains the importance of appreciating diversity in the community.
Equal UA is an organization that is just trying to better the community, trying to raise awareness for people that haven't had a voice. It got started in November. I was walking my 2 puppies. I'm walking about a block and a half away from my house, and I see a jogger. So I had my dogs go about 3 or 4 inches off of the sidewalk onto the grass, and he says to me, "I don't trust black people with dogs." And then, I was kind of confused. Like, what did you say? And he said, "I don't trust you with those type of dogs." So I was upset, came home, told my girlfriend. She went on the Upper Arlington discussion forum on Facebook, and then from there it just started this movement. I work in the community, I live in the community. It's important to me that I want to see UA be exposed to people that look like me. We want to have some minorities. We want to have some infusion of change, difference in this community, because this is a great community. Not everyone is the same. Not everyone has come from the same place. Everyone has a story to tell. Let's sit down, let's take a few minutes, and let's learn about our neighbors. Let's learn about our community members. Let's learn about the people that are around us in these communities, because we only have a short time on this earth, and things are so crazy right now. Let's bring some love and kindness to the table.
The Junior Achievement Club at UA is currently working to sell shirts, stickers, and wristbands. If you're interested in supporting the cause, you can visit Equal UA's Facebook page to access the order form.
Now let's kick it back to Maine.
Hi, welcome back to Maine. I'm Kylie. Yesterday, the U.S. women's national soccer team played in Germany in the Mapfre Stadium in the annual She Believes Cup. The U.S. won 1-0 against Germany. England and France also competed in a match in England, and England beat France 4-1. There will be a doggy supply donation box outside of the main cafeteria doors before school each day next week. Please consider donating dog collars, leashes, and any new pet supplies to support the Humane Society. Each donor will receive a free puppy chow drink from UA Rise Cafe. The puppy chow drink is also on sale for $4, with profits going to support the same cause. This weekend, 17 members of the UAHS speech and debate team are competing in Sylvania, Ohio for the state finals. Next week, we will take a look at spring break in locker rooms. February was the 7th wettest and 8th warmest one on record with 4.75 inches of rain and an average temperature of 38.8 degrees. There were only 8 completely dry days in February. With all these rainy days we've had, we hope your weekend will be flooded with plant spares.